Do you have what it takes to own your own Pilates studio? Do you know what it takes? Me neither, so I went to go find out. It's Chrissy, your favorite side quest queen, and today we gonna find out what it takes to run a business like this. We pulled up to LatJohns in Hapeville, Georgia, and yes, I did take me a class before I sat down with the lovely owner, Latonia Johnson. Like many of us, Latonya's career path has not been linear. Latonia literally took a personal side quest and turned it into success. As the proud owner of LatJohns Pilates and Wellness. Enjoy.
How long have you had the yoga studio now?
I took over the yoga space last year, and basically January is when we opened of last year, so it's been exactly a year.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, okay, and the adjacent Pilates studio.
2021, I opened the brick and mortar. I got my certification in 2018 is when I did the curriculum, but I didn't take the exam until basically the end of 2019. So by January of 2020, I found out that I had passed the exam, and so that I was actually certified. And
what's the certification called? What is it?
It's Polestar Pilates, like certification, comprehensive certification. So not only am I certified to teach mat classes or the reformer classes, which is what you typically see here. It's basically like there's 5 different apparatuses that we got certified to be able to like teach on. And so when I do privates, it's typically when I get a chance to use all of the other apparatuses. So it's like the ladder, barrel, and spine corrector considered one. They have a Cadillac or a trap table, which is sometimes you see like in physical therapy. It's like a bed that looks like it has a canopy with like these like 4 bars with all of these springs and things. And if you go into the back space, you'll actually see like the tower. So I have a scaled down version of that because my space is not that big. So I couldn't afford to have like the true trap table. Or Cadillac is what some people refer to it as. So I have the tower. Like it's a tower bar. So it's all of the little like hooks and springs and things that connect to the physical trap table, but it's basically like we can do almost all of the exercises on that apparatus back there. So that's like the second one. And then you have the chair, which is the thing that is up against the wall. We were playing on it today. I don't know if you were here when we were kind of playing on that. That's the third one, and the two most popular is the reformer, which is also in there, and then the mat. So those are the 2 most popular like apparatuses.
Reformer is what we did this morning. Well, this is your only location, yes? Okay.
It's my only location.
Yes. Okay. And then it smells real good in here. It's always warm in here. You do hot Pilates in this studio too, right?
Yes. Actually, we do heated and non-heated yoga.
Okay.
I have snuck in like warm Pilates. I do Pilates in this space once a week, and that's on Fridays at 12:15.
Okay.
And so right now, like it's cold outside, so every now and then I'll turn the heaters on, and they won't know it. And then all of a sudden I'll hear someone say like about 5-10 minutes into the workout, like, it's hot in here. Is this heated? And then I laugh and I go, today we're doing like warm Pilates. I never like made it hot. Right. They'll you'll feel it. So I'm not trying to die an early death.
Yes. Well, I like it. I like the heat too. It's nice. Can you tell me about your journey? Were you always into like the health and wellness space? Were you always into Pilates? How did you decide that you were even going to get your certification?
All right, that's funny. So I tell people when they ask me that question, like my typical response is God got on my last nerve, literally, like literally. So growing up, I was always really athletic. I always played sports. I tumbled. I did all of the things, and so super active. When I graduated from college and entered into the workforce, I took that competitive edge that I either exhibited on the court or on the field, and basically put it in the boardroom. And so I especially started like when my degree was sociology major. I thought I wanted to work with dysfunctional teens, and I was going to save the world one child at a time. I did that for 2 years. I had a professor who I went to ask him to do a letter for me so that, because I was thinking that I was going to go ahead and just move straight into like my working towards my master's in clinical therapy. And the professor said to me at that time, Miss Johnson, I need you to do me a huge favor. I will write you a letter because I think you definitely can do it, but I want you to work in the field for 2 years before you decide that this is what you want to get your master's in. And at the time I didn't understand it, and I was really kind of like pissed off, like left there, like, you know, like saying all the things about him, and
because you had your mind made
because
up.
I was like, this is what I wanted to do. But rest his soul, because he's gone on. But like, I thank Dr. I went back and hugged Dr. Morgan and thanked him, and just was like, oh my God, thank you so much, because he knew what I didn't know, which is working in that field takes a really special person. It's really heavy. It's like you know, you're working with people with like all of these dysfunctions and just demons, really. Like it's just a lot of stuff, and it's really heavy. And I was so light and energetic, and he just kind of was like, I just don't think that that's like what you're gonna get a master's and then you're not gonna use it, and
that's
I don't want you to waste your money. It was a true blessing. So I ended up leaving like my hometown, which was Arkansas, and moving here because my sister was here. And she had been trying to get me to come for a while. And all it took was one visit. And I was like, oh my God.
You liked it?
Yes. I was like, I'm sold. She didn't have to sell me anymore.
I love that.
I came here, got into corporate America, working in television, and moved up quickly, like up the corporate ladder. And then was here for about 7 years, and then landed a job, almost 7.5, 8 years, landed a job with HGTV. And then moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, was there for approximately not quite 2 years, landed a job with Discovery Channel Latin America, moved to Miami, and I was in Miami for 11 years. Again, moving up, working with the like Latin America. Miami was the headquarters for the Latin American region at the time. So I oversaw the operations. And so I was always hopping from one country to the next, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, and Colombia, sitting a lot, whether it was on a plane, at in a meeting room, at my desk, but went from being super active to being super sedentary and living that sedentary lifestyle. And then the stresses of hitting deadlines all coupled with each other. Basically took a toll on my body. I ended up having chronic back pain, where the orthopedic was like, you're gonna have to do surgery if you want any type of like normalcy. And I'd seen like 2 people in my office that had done back surgery, and they just seemed like they were worse after surgery, like super robotic. And I was just like hell bent on that's not the option for me.
That's right.
And so the opportunity presented itself, which it was not supposed to happen in this way. And again, nothing but God.
That's right.
Where I was afforded to walk away from my job and take a severance package. But the severance package was never supposed to be presented to me. Like my CFO was so mad when he found out that they had presented me with the
happy accident. That's right.
And so when it was all said and done, and I had a choice between 2 different positions or the severance package, I was in such pain, and I just realized like it didn't matter if I made all the money in the world.
That's right.
If this is what my quality of life had become, like it wasn't worth it. So I took the severance package, thinking that I was only going to basically be off work for about 6 months, but I was going to spend that 6 months getting myself back healthy. Like trying to find a holistic way to heal myself. And that's where the journey began. Like I discovered, because I couldn't do all of the other things, all I could do was either restorative yoga or physical therapy based Pilates. Like I couldn't do all of the things, so it was more physical therapy. And lucky for me, Polestar Pilates, the founder of Polestar, is a physical therapist first. And so his headquarters was in Miami. So when I Googled physical therapy Pilates, based Pilates, like Polestar kept popping up. And so I realized that there was a studio, Polestar studio, that was like within 10-15 minutes from where I live. And so I went, and then the rest is history. Pilates. Couldn't do a lot in the beginning, but they had modifications for me. So even though I couldn't do a lot of the things, my movement experience was a positive one. And then I gained confidence over time. I started to feel less pain. I didn't realize it. Like I was starting to sleep through the night, whereas before I was like not sleeping. Just my body was like a mess. And so little by little, like I started feeling better, and then I started like moving, becoming more mobile. And then I would say like about 5 months time, I felt better than I had felt in years.
Wow.
And at that point I was like, if this is how good I feel and I know so little, then I'm going to get my certification, not so I can teach, but just so I can never go down that rabbit hole.
That's right.
And so that was my intention, was to just educate myself, because knowledge is power. And I was just wanting to educate myself, if I needed to buy certain equipment and stuff to be able to have it at my fingertips. Like, that was my idea of, I'm just going to basically make sure that wherever I go, wherever I'm working in next, I'm going to always be able to come home and practice Pilates in my own body, so that I would never ever find myself in that place again. And that was my intention, but God had a different plan.
That's right. So it sounds like it started as something that was almost like a side quest, if you will, but it was personal side quest. It was a personal side quest. Right.
I wasn't even planning to teach. I just wanted to not have to depend on somebody else
to get you well,
to help me stay well, because they helped me get there, but like to help me stay well. And like I said, I made a plan. God laughed at it and had a different one.
Don't it always happen like that? Yeah. Okay, I got a couple more questions. What are some? I heard you say earlier they advised you to not go to get your master's just yet. They advised you to not pursue it just yet because of your way, your personality, how you were, and it didn't necessarily work for that industry. So I'm curious about your personal traits and how they lend well to running, and now what you have today, a yoga and Pilates studio. Like, what are some things about you that make this run like a well-oiled machine?
So there's multiple things, but and when I asked him what made him request that I not go right away, it was layered. One, he said, like, you were such a bright light, like you have such high energy, and you're like, you're fun. And he was like, and that profession is very dark. I mean, things are happening to like these kids it's very unfortunate. And he's like, and over time it can really take a toll on you. And he was like, and I just felt like I didn't want to see you like go from this like bright light to someone that was like carrying the burdens of the world on your shoulders, kind of thing. But I do feel like, it's something I could have done. I just don't think I would have lasted long in the industry, because it would have like taken a toll on me. And I'm the type of person that I can't, like, I just can't let my energy live in dark spaces like that. But I think in terms of like success, in the studio or running a business like this, like, you can be the brightest light that you want to be, but it requires having people skills. It requires having like discipline. It requires being flexible. And when I say flexible, a lot of people think that like running a business like this is cool because you can be really flexible with your hours, and you can kind of craft your hours and work when you want to work and not work when you don't want to work.
And is that the case? Because at first you ran classes by yourself, right?
I ran classes by myself.
For how long?
And like the first like year and a half to 2 years, I ran the classes like just solely by myself. And by the time I brought someone in, like I want to say it was about a year and a half. A year and a half in, I was burnt out. Like I was, and I didn't know it. I didn't realize it. And that person came in, and that person was with me for about 7 months, almost 8 months. And the crazy thing is, like, so I started to have a little relief, and the person convinced me, like, oh yeah, let's add classes. So I added Saturday classes, because I used to be strictly Monday through Friday. I do a block of morning classes and a block of evening classes. And so she convinced me, like, let's do like Saturday classes too. The community was asking for it. And so since I had someone that was going to basically alternate Saturdays with me, I was willing to do it. I did it. And then no sooner than I basically agreed to do that, and we were like probably a good 2 months in, is when I found out that basically she was going to be leaving, because there was a studio that opened up like closer to where she lived. And at that point in time, people had gotten so like used to the Saturday classes that they were like, please don't take them away. And so now I'm by myself running Monday through Saturday classes. And so I said all of that to say, like, even now that I have more people instructors in place, sometimes I'll hear people go, can we add Sunday classes, and can we add more, these classes? And I'm open to adding those classes, but I'm also very like careful and cautious, because today I have 4 instructors on the Pilates side.
Yes.
And then even more on the yoga side.
Okay.
But I have to make sure that I don't add so many classes that if all of a sudden I end up like with the skeleton crew,
do it alone,
that I can't maintain it.
Yeah. Nice.
But you were asking the question about like what it takes. And basically I was going to say like, it just really takes like, when I said flexibility, it takes flexibility on my part, not on the parts of anyone else. These hours that I've crafted are the hours that lend to what the availability of my clients, which means I then have to be willing to be open early morning when everybody else is like sleep, which because I have to get up extra early in order to be here to open the gym up so that we can have classes at 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning. I have to be willing to work on the weekends because that's time that my clients are available. And so oftentimes when other people want to basically be off on the weekend so they can travel, I need to basically make sure that I can be available for the clients. So there is a flexibility piece that comes into play, but I have to be really flexible to make sure that I can offer the classes at the times that is convenient for my clientele. It takes a lot of like juggling because in addition to teaching classes, there's the business management part, which people don't see. And that's what takes the brunt of like, I think my time.
That's what I was going to ask you too, like administrative things. You said that takes the brunt of your time.
That takes the brunt because when I leave from here, I don't leave really. I then am looking at the phone because I have sometimes 100 text messages. I'll have like people have called and left voice messages. I have people who want to basically like have a party on a particular weekend. And so their parties are, if it's for their birthday, their birthday is on a set date. So that's really time sensitive. And then I have to kind of figure out like, what's the priority? So I just literally like looked down and had a person who requested to do a private party, group party for next weekend. And I'm like, next week. Or well, maybe it's 2 weekends, but anyways, it's really close. And so I can't play around and like delay in getting back to that person because
I'm hearing no procrastination. Really, you don't have room for that.
I don't have time.
That's right. 2 more questions I have. One is, what's something you didn't expect when you first started running this business?
It's like, you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
Until you realize you didn't know.
That's right.
That you needed to do this or that. And so we're going to have to pause it for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Pause it. Hold, please.
Please hold.
A client has arrived. There were so many like emails or letters that I was receiving, whether it's from like the IRS, Georgia Department of Labor, when I tell you, just so many different like things that basically you don't know if you don't have like a mentor or someone who comes from like the entrepreneurial background that can kind of like, you know, help you and guide you around, you know, to help you navigate through the things. And so I was talking to a few other recent people who recently started businesses, and I was saying, I feel like I know that there's the small business association, but a lot of times there's things that's happening in real time.
That's right.
That it would be really nice if basically we created some type of like group, local group for people who are right in the area that's all running small businesses. So when I run into this, I can reach out to the group and send a message out to the group, and then someone could help navigate me and vice versa.
Right.
Because I feel like oftentimes other groups, other nationalities have like the support.
Yeah.
We personally don't.
Yes.
And most people are so concerned about trying to make it and be successful. And I'm going to show everybody that we're kind of on an island, or we're choosing to be on an island, and we're trying to do it by ourselves, as opposed to like creating a network of people who are all like experiencing these things.
That's right.
And maybe someone's been in the business a lot longer than I, and they can walk me through,
That's right.
need to contact this person, you need to do this. Because sometimes I sit at my desk or my table or wherever I am today, because I'm like, I have makeshift desk, and I will spend hours on end just researching and like looking into this and looking into that, just trying to figure out like the best approach to navigate something that basically has come up that I didn't even know that I needed to do in my business.
And the best way, I think, with personal life and even business, like the best way to learn from a mistake is really from watching somebody else and to iterate on that. You waste a lot of resources trying to do things on an island and, you know, figure things out on your own. So I agree with that. Yeah.
And the other thing too is like when you reach out to businesses, the first thing that they want to do is they want $500 a month. You know, I can support you and I can carry this and I can do that. And it's like $500 a month. So every time you talk to a different, you know, person, it's like, oh, that'll be $500. So if you're $500 a month here and $500 a month there, you're like, your expenses are so like astronomical that you're like it over, like it supersedes the income that you're drawing in. So you find yourself like being apprehensive about doing that. But again, just having a mentor, someone that's in the business, and just having peers who are also going through things because they're like opening businesses and they're running like small businesses as well is I think the best way to go.
Yeah, community. Community. Okay.
Community is everything.
Last question.
Okay.
What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
Does that matter?
No, it's part of the interview. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
This
was great. Of course.
And then if you want to see the space,
I'm gonna
definitely. I'll walk you around really fast.
Okay, cool.
Of course, I'm gonna show you around her yoga studio. I use my Metas to actually capture some really good footage of the double-sided space. So one side, of course, she uses for yoga. The other side is for Pilates.
Hey, Meta.
This is the yoga space. So people, when they're doing yoga, have to enter through the back door. They'll basically, you know, put their shoes, purses, and stuff in any of these little like cubbies here. We have all of like the different equipment and stuff. So if we're doing a restorative class, we're typically like using the bolsters. We have blankets. We have towels for like, this is towels to clean the mats.
Water.
This is towels for like the brows. If they're in there sweating and stuff, and they basically like are, you know, need a towel. Use it for that. We have the pillowcases for the bolsters so that like they don't get dirty. And once they use a pillowcase in the bolster, they
put it in there.
In here. But we have like bands and. You know.
Are you a very organized person at home? Because your studio is very organized. Everything is so neat and organized.
I should be more organized at home.
Okay, but you're very organized in your business. That's what counts.
I mean, I typically, yes. And then we even have like, so we do heated classes, and I'm mentioning that. So we offer like
cold towels.
Cold towels that have the scents and lavender.
Oh,
so, like at the end, people like look.
I can smell it from here.
It smells so good. So people are like, oh my god, I can't wait for the towel.
Yes.
So, and then, this is the yoga space, of course.
Yes.
And then when you come over onto this side, we have basically the machines. This is like where the Pilates.
How many machines do you have now?
There's 10 total.
10 total. Nice.
10 machines total.
And there's a restroom back here.
We have all of the stuff for that we use props and things. We have like, you know, foam rollers.
That's right.
Okay, so that was really dope. When you start a business like this, you got to be certified. You have to find a location, which you can either rent or buy. You need equipment, and you'll probably need a staff too. I hope this inspired you, and remember, the limit does not exist. Thank you for watching.